Okay, good evening, everybody. Today I will speak about the mitzvah of the two mitzvahs of Chanukah that are actually counted in the Taryag mitzvahs that existed before the Rambam. So all the Taryag mitzvahs, as I already explained you a few times, the Taryag mitzvahs, the Rambam is not the first one to come Taryag mitzvahs. There were a lot of Taryag mitzvahs before him, list of Taryag mitzvahs that existed before him. But the first one that they've started it is the Bahag, the Baal Halochos Gedolos, and afterwards a lot of other Goinim or people that that lived in the time of the Goinim. They wrote a kind of Taryag mitzvahs list in a format of songs, as Horis they are called. Sorry.
Was it, they all like made their own? Or there was a Messiah, or they just knew they
so
were
no, so they based themselves on the Bahag. So they took the Bahag and they changed a bit here and bit there. They changed also a little bit the format sometimes. So, but the main, they followed the Bahag in main lines. But it's true that certain things they added and others they took away. But it was the Bahag, Bahag's derech, the Bahag Mahalach of structuring and counting the Taryag mitzvahs. And then the Rambam was very disappointed. One of the reasons why he was very disappointed is because there were two mitzvahs that the Bahag added and everybody followed him, was Ner Chanukah. So Ner Chanukah was a mitzvah aseh according to the Goinim. And the Rambam says, how can you say that it's mitzvah aseh? It's only the Rabbanon. It was only given in the time of the Bais Sheni. So it didn't even exist on Sinai. And also Hallel. So they counted 8 days of Hallel that we say in Chanukah as 8 separate mitzvahs assays. So according to the Goinim, there are 9 mitzvahs assays of the 248 that we are Mekayim this year. So 8 of them are each day that we are Goimer Hallel, the fact that we're saying the complete Hallel, and one of them that is with we are lighting the candles 8 days. So this is counted one mitzvah, and the 8 days of Hallel are counted as 8 different mitzvahs. So the Rambam says, how can it be? Hallel is only with the Rabbanon, etc. So the Rambam is one of the main argument against the Bahag was because of Chanukah, Megillah, Esther also, which are only with the Rabbanon, even if it is Midivrei Kabbalah, but it's at least Ner Chanukah for sure is only with the Rabbanon. Therefore, he says that we have to start Taryag mitzvahs from scratch, and one of the rules is that all the Rabbanon should not be counted in the Taryag mitzvahs. Now, the reason why Taka we are Goimer Hallel, so the fact that we are saying Hallel, there's not such a problem. The fact that we are saying Hallel can be Min HaTorah because it's Pirsum Nisa. So when there is a Pirsum Nisa, there is a chiyuv to say Hallel, or at least to do something which is Mefasem the Nes. As we can learn it, how do we know that you have to say we have to be Pirsum Nisa? So the Sifro says in Parshas Emor, you can find it in the Malbim, is V'lo Yechalu Hashem Kodshi, Elo Emor Kodesh. So basically, the Pasuk says V'lo Yechalu Hashem Kodshi, you should not make a Chilul Hashem. So, but what should you do? You should be Mekadesh Hashem. So you should say Kedusha, you should say Hallel. So they learn from here that you have to say Hallel. I understood that we can say V'lo Yechalu Hashem Kodshi, Avol Tahallelu Hashem Kodshi, but you should say Hallel instead of not to be mechalel and not to be mekalel chas v'sholem, but at least to be mehalel. So this is one of the ways to say that there's a mitzvah to say halal. The Ibn Ezra brings down another posuk v'hite loscho, that it's inyan v'hite loscho, that from here we see that we should say halal for the Rebbeinu Shloim, and also kodesh yidulim Hashem is also by the 4th year. You're so happy that you have net aruvai, that you have the 4th year of your trees, the fruits of your trees, that you it says kodesh hilulim Hashem. It's a mitzvah say to bring the net aruvai to the Beis Hamikdash. So he says also hilulim Hashem, to say halal for Hashem. So the inyan of Pirsum Nisa could be that it is Min HaTorah, and therefore the halal could also be part of saying Pirsum Nisa. So it could be that it is Min HaTorah. Doesn't mean that you have to count them as 8 separate mitzvahs, but at least that it is part of a Doraisa. The Rishonim and the Achronim, they answer the question of the Rambam, how can you add the Rabbanon? So basically it is maybe a Doraisa. The other reason, the question is, but okay, so you say Hallel once. Why would you say Hallel 8 times? And even if you want to say 8 times, so the first day you say Hallel complete, and then all the other 7 days you can say a half a Hallel, like we do on Rosh Chodesh, like we do on Chol HaMoed Pesach. Why do we do on each day complete Hallel? So last year we explained that one of the reasons, and probably the main reasons why we are doing 8 days of Hanukkah is not like we learned that like Chazal are telling us in the story in the Braise in Shabbos, and it's also brought down in Megillas Tainis. But as we see, the Shulchan explains based on the Sefer Hashmonoim that originally they were very disappointed that they could not do a proper sukkahs. We could not bring the musofim from sukkahs. We could not chok lulav properly. We could not sit in sukkahs. So basically, they wanted to recreate a Yom Tov of 8 days like sukkahs. And therefore, it says in the Sefer Hashmoim, they even took a lulav and arovas and they danced with the lulav and arovas. They were lebedik. They created a real Yom Tov. They reproduced a new Yom Tov of 8 days. But it's just that they didn't know if it would be accepted by Kodesh Baruch Hu, a Yom Tov of 8 days. So the Nes that happened with the lights were confirmation that that Rabban Shalom agreed for 8 days, because the Nes lasted exactly the same time as what they already decided to make a Yom Tov of 8 days, because the 8 days were to compensate for the Sukkah. So the whole 8 days that we are celebrating starts off from a celebration of Sukkah that they didn't do properly, so they wanted to do this time, and they decided to make a Yom Tov of 8 days for all the doiras, an extra Sukkahs if you want for all the doiras, and therefore this is the mitzvah of today that we are doing. Of course, we are doing meluchas. It's not like originally, because after the Churban, the element of meluchas disappeared. But Hallel, we continue saying, and since on Sukkot it's like a big chiddush, but on Sukkot we do say Hallel, complete Hallel each of the 8 days. So too on Hanukkah we are saying 8 days complete Hallel. This we can understand. At least we understand that we are stuck saying the 8 complete days. We're saying Hallel completely during the 8 days is, as we said also, Hallel complete Hallel during the 8 days of Sukkot. So there is a kind of a parallelism, and then for it probably still comes from that we are saying today Hallel complete. The other reason, and this comes to the same, is as we see that the reason, the explanation of why we are Goymer Hallel is that each day of Sukkot is a Yom Tov B'fnei Atzmo. Why? Because the Musafim are always different. So each day there is a different Musaf. So it starts with 13, 12, 10, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, and then 1. So each day has a different numbers of Purim, of cows that you have to bring as a Musaf on Sukkot. And so each day is like a new Yom Tov for itself. And therefore they said Hallel. And since we are doing the same, and therefore Beis Shammai holds that the reason why we light candles the first day 8, and then 7, and then 6. Beis Shammai is choilek on Beis Hillel. We do like Beis Hillel, but Beis Shammai holds that we do 8. Why? Like the Purim. He says himself, like the Purim from Sukkot. So you see in Beis Shammai already this concept of the reason why we're doing Hanukkah is similar to the reason to compensate for the Sukkah. It's kind of a Sukkah's Yom Tov. And so since the whole each day we are lighting a different light, so it's similar to the Purim of Sukkot, and since Sukkot we say the complete Hallel, so also on Hanukkah we are saying the complete Hallel. So this we can understand. So we have a bit of an understanding of why we're saying Hallel, that is Pesum Nisa, why we're saying 8 days, because it's like Sukkot 8 days, and why are we saying the complete Hallel, which is the biggest chiddush, that Chazal were agreeing to say complete Hallel. We're trying to reduce the saying complete Hallel only for very specific things. Why the Chazal Take agreed is because it's like Sukkot. Like on Sukkot, since we bring different Purim, here also we light different candles, and it is based on Sukkot. So Chazal said, okay, we're going to let you continue saying a complete Hallel even on Hanukkah. So that's clear. Now, what about Ner Hanukkah? Ner Hanukkah, how can you explain that this is Doraisa? So we can say the same thing. The Ner Hanukkah is Pirsum Nisa, and Pirsum Nisa we just said is Doraisa. We said that the Kodesh Purim Lashem, that it's an Inyan to to be mahal the Rebbeinu Shalom, to show and to praise the Rebbeinu Shalom, and to show that the Rebbeinu Shalom did nisim with us. And so the mitzvah of Chanukah is also Pirsum Nisa. So there's a whole shtickle Torah on that be'etzem both are Pirsum Nisa, Hallel and the Ner Chanukah. And the only thing is that the one that comes first is the one that you mekayim the mitzvah, the chiyuv of Pirsum Nisa you mekayim with the first one, and the second one is then only an adding on. That's why sometimes in the Gemara you will find that the Hallel of Chanukah is the Rabbonon, it's the Raisa, it's not clear, there is theories a little bit, you can, depending how you learn the Sugis and Shas. And the reason why there is such a difficulties can be understood, because if somebody lights candles the night before, like we do, then you already were mekayim the chiyuv of Pirsum Nisa. Then what you say Hallel the next day is not a chiyuv anymore. You already did it today. When? Last night. So when you're doing it now, you're just adding on more Pirsum Nisa. This is not a chiyuv. It's why not? It's a mitzvah. It's a nice thing to do, but it's not a chiyuv. It's not a chiyuv min Torah that you have to say Hallel, because you already were mefasten the nes. Masha'enken, if somebody did not light the candles the night before, so then his Hallel is take a chiyuv. At least he should say Hallel for the Pirsum Nisa. So it is the first one is the yoyotze the chiyuv, and therefore the second one is only the Rabbonon. And if you didn't do the first one, then the second one becomes the Doraisa. So you will see in Sugis and Shas that you can learn like that both ways. You can make a bit of an explanation that both are Pirsum Nisa. So that's in the case if we explain that Ner Chanukah is a Pirsum Nisa. But we already said that the Mishnah Yaivet, he was one of the big Rabbonim, Rebbe Tzalel Zlote, I don't remember how we pronounce his name. He was a big Rov in Yerushalayim, and he clearly claims, I'm not so 100% sure to understand exactly his rayas. I find his rayas a little bit challenging, but he brings rayas. He says Rov Rishonim hold that when there was a Beis Hamikdash, they did not light candles. The lighting of the candles only started off much later. The Rambam says clearly B'oisei Shono, but the other Rishonim holds that the Adlokas Neiros only started much later after the Churban. And therefore, it is only a Zeichel Adlokas Neiros. A lot of rise that he wants to bring down, that they only started the lighting of the candles after the Churban of the Beis HaMikdash. So the lighting of the candles is only a Zeichel to the Adlokas Neiros that happened in the Beis HaMikdash. So what we need to understand then is, okay, you can say it's connected with the Nes, but it's still a little bit difficult to understand. So the idea, and I already spoke about.
There is the groups of Yidden who weren't necessarily in the Gulas, like the Gozinim or the Temanim, who weren't really there by the Gulas Bovel, they also have Chanukah? If yes, then it must have been B'Shas by Sheni.
No, so nobody, actually, you have to understand, Take, it's a very good point, that and we will come a little bit to that, but the mitzvah of lighting candles, of making the Yom Tov at all a Yom Tov of Chanukah, was only in Eretz Yisrael. And the Hashmonaim had to send letters of convincing the Jews in Egypt to actually also keep it as a Yom Tov. So it was not straight away Mekubal. So they wanted for the whole Klal Yisrael to keep that Yom Tov, not only the people that suffered and were people that suffered, which were the Yidden that still lived in Eretz Yisrael, but they wanted that the whole Golus should also celebrate with them the Chanukah, like I said, without lighting candles. And the lighting candles is started only at the end of the Tanuim. After the Churban, they're starting to light the candles. That's why in the Mishnah, you hardly speak about that. There are other reasons. Some say that the Rebbe hardly mentions Chanukah, only very, very little bit. And it's only in the Bavli also, not even the Yerushalmi. So there is a lot of explanation like that. I wanted to explain why in the Josephus, he doesn't mention it at all. He explains there is a Yom Tov of Chanukah called Chag HaUrim, but he says he doesn't know why it's called the Festival of Lights, while every child would know if there would be a mitzvah to light candles, every child would know that it is because of the Neiros. Now, I don't know if I answered your question with that or not at all.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Now, I want to to come back to that. There is I want to a little bit, just if I may, continue on the element of the changes that happened after the Churban. Now, there is a famous, the Novi says that our goal is to be the Oyer Lagoyim. So we have to be the light for the nations. And we can say that the Beis Hamikdash played that role. So the Beis Hamikdash played the role of being the light of all the nations, that the connection that the world, humanity had with the Rebbeinu Shalom went through the Beis Hamikdash. The Beis Hamikdash is kind of a chimney that connects humanity with the Rebbeinu Shalom, because the Rebbeinu Shalom comes down and he is actually living in the Beis Hamikdash. And this is what we always say, that this is the idea of the Beis Hamikdash. Let's say Beis Tefillo Yikore Lecholo Amim, and also all the Purim in Sukkot. All the Purim in Sukkot are a kapore for the people, for all the people. As you can see, that how many Purim are we bringing? We're bringing 70 Purim, 70 cows. Why we bring 70? For all the Shivim Amim. So basically, the Beis Hamikdash is kind of to connect the humanity with the Rebbeinu Shalom. It's kind of it's kind of a geula, a light that we bring to the people. From the moment that the Beis Hamikdash is chorov, then it doesn't say, I don't think it says, that the Shechina went up again. As I explained to you, the Shechina from the Gan Eden went up all the time, 7 levels, and then Avram brought it down, and Yitzchak, etc., and then he brought it down back to the Beis Hamikdash. It doesn't say that after the Churban the Shechina went up. It just said that the Shechina went away, wasn't there. So it's like what we call a Shechina begelusa. So where is the Shechina? So we already explained the Shechina is not anymore in the Beis Hamikdash, because it's not there anymore, but the Shechina is in the houses of the Jewish people. So they were already in the houses of the Jewish people, but it was only the temporary on Sukkot, on Pesach, etc. But its role was not really a role to spread out the light to the other people, but it was more to rest. Why not to be together with us? If you will come to my house 3 times a year, I will come to your houses. Generally, I will come regularly to your houses. Whenever you keep your house b'kedusha and tahara, I will be able to come and I will share with you your life as well. And so this is basically the concept that we explained. And we also explained that the Beis Hamikdash is the reason why we have a Beis Hamikdash is to recreate the oil from Soro Imenu. So we said that Soro Imenu, that there were 3 Nisim that happened in the oil of Soro, which is that she had light, that whenever she light a candle on Friday afternoon, this candle light lasted during the whole week till the next Friday afternoon. And there was an onon, there was a Shechina was on the oil, and also the bread was had a broche. And we see that the building of the Beis Hamikdash was, before the Yidden could go into Eretz Yisrael, they needed to build the Mishkan. The Mishkan is a recreation of the house of Soro Imenu. So it's basically as I explained you, it is the house of our mothers that we kind of recreate. In as much as, if you remember, I said that when you looked on the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and somebody went into the Kodesh HaKadoshim, he saw the poroiches. And what did he see behind the poroiches? He saw shapes of 2 breasts, of women's breasts. Chazal say because the badim of the Oroin, they pushed on the poroiches, and when you looked on the other side, it looked like a dent in the poroiches, like breasts. So when you were looking outside, you were looking inside the Kodesh HaKadoshim, towards the Kodesh HaKadoshim, you saw women. So the whole idea is to recreate the oil of Sorei Meinu. Maybe the 2 Kruvim are like children that are playing in the house. A woman that is without children is not really, doesn't feel complete. So it is the whole Kruvim is also the children's faces, children's that are playing with each other, kind of. So basically, there is a lot that can be said around that, but it is because of the women that actually the whole Shechina can reside. And so, if we assume that the idea of after the Churban that our role has become to become the Oyer Lagoyim, that we have to be the light of the nation. It means, in other words, that the house, that when you have a house, a Jewish home, the only reason why the Beis Hamikdash is in the house, says Chazal, ish ve'ish sho zoiche is a shchine shchoye b'neihem. So basically, if the man and a husband and a wife are zoiche, then what I mean, they're zoiche, if they have sholem bayis, then the shchine lies in their house, right? So it depends on sholem bayis. So the main idea, the main reason why the shchine would not be in a house is if there is no sholem bayis. If there is sholem bayis, the shchine is there. If there's no sholem bayis, the shchine is not there. And we know that sholem bayis, this element, the symbol of sholem bayis is light, right? The light is the sholem bayis. The reason why we light candles on Friday night is also, and is because of sholem bayis. The posuk that we bring down is because of sholem bayis. The Rambam brings it down many times. The whole idea is that light gives sholem bayis. So lighting a candle from Shabbos, or even stam lighting a candle in the house in the evening, is a symbol of bringing sholem bayis. And so when you have light in the house, you know that the Shechina is there. So the light in the house, not only on Shabbos, even during the week, ner bayis, it says, not doesn't say ner Shabbos, but the ner bayis brings the sholem. So having light in the house in the evening, when you eat, or stam, when you are spending your time together, then this brings sholem bayis. If there is no light, it's darkness, it's sadness, and the sadness, and there is no sholem, therefore the Shechina cannot be there. So that's already with the light. So what do? So when we are saying that we have to be the Oyer Lagoim, meaning that we have to take this light and we have to show the world that from now on, we are going to become the Oyer Lagoim. We're going to become the light of the nations, not through the Beis Hamikdash anymore, because it's Chorov, but it's going to be the Jewish people, the Jewish homes that are going to play the role of becoming the Oyer Lagoim. So this is basically the role that we have now, is in this stage as we want. Or for the others who are Zionists, it was already started from 1948. But the role that we have now, it stopped by 1948, because then they start already to conquer back the land. But for what the Modi Agudists believe, if you want, is that the role that we still have now is to play in Golus, to be the Oyer Lagoyim. And how do we do that? We have the lights that is in our house, we are taking outside. Okay, there's a big machloikes in Ner Chanukah, if hadloka is a mitzvah or hanocha is a mitzvah. I hope that you remember this machloikes, big machloikes, if the hadloka is a mitzvah and hanocha is a mitzvah. Basically, there is a big, I'm not going to go, there is the nafkamina is, of course, which bracha to make, apparently, according to the Gemara. And also, if it blows out by mistake or by the wind blows it out, if you have to light it again. So once we pass not loko is a mitzvah, and therefore, if you light now the candle and it's by chance there is a wind and it blows it off, you don't have to light it again. That's halacha. You did yours. You light candles for half an hour, so basically there was enough oil. The fact that it's blown off, that's not your problem. Halachically, you are okay. You don't have to light again. But if hanocha is a mitzvah, then not. Now, I always wondered, what is this loshen hanocha is a mitzvah? Where does the word hanocha come from? So, according to what we just explained, it could very well be explained that the idea is that you take a light from your house, which represents the Shechina, which presents Sholem Bayis, which presents the Shechina, and you take it outside of the house, right? So the idea is to take it outside to the Rishus HaRabim. So you take from Rishus HaYochid, you bring it to the Rishus HaRabim. Every Yitzir, Chazal tell us, is always with an Akira and an Hanocha. So you always have an Akira and an Hanocha. And so when you take from your house and you bring it to the streets, you have to make an Hanocha. And so the Chazal say, Hanocha is a mitzvah. So when are you mekayim the mitzvah? The mitzvah is the taking out and putting it in the street. So this is basically, that's why Chazal used the expression of Hanocha, because it is really from Akira to Hanocha, because the idea is to take it out, the light that you have in the house. And so therefore, when the Rambam says that when a person does not have enough money to buy ner bayis or ner Chanukah, so he says that ner bayis is more important. And the Gemara says, and the Rambam also mentions it. Now, the problem is with that is that for Ner Chanukah, I have to spend all my money to be Yotze Ner Chanukah. And therefore, Ner Shabbos, the Gemara doesn't mention it, but the Rambam understood from Chazal that since Chazal says that Ner Bayis is more choshev than a Ner Chanukah. If somebody only has money for Ner Bayis, he has to buy a Ner Bayis and not Ner Chanukah. If he has only one light that he can do, he should better do a Ner Bayis. So they all learn, as Rashi learns, that we're speaking here about Ner Shabbos. Ner Shabbos, the mitzvah of Ner Shabbos is so important, and so therefore you have to spend money on the Ner Shabbos more importantly than the Ner Chanukah. And however, what you can learn is not like that, because then you have a problem that with Ner Shabbos we don't see that the person has to spend all its money. The Rambam Taka says, and Shulchan Aruch takes it from the Rambam, but where do we take that from? In Chazal, I don't think it's mentioned. Elomai, yes, because the whole idea that the Ner Bayis, if you don't have a Ner Bayis, then what's the point of taking the light outside? If the whole idea is that the light that you have inside, you should also have outside, so taking it outside without having it inside, it's ridiculous, it's absurd. First, you need to have light inside. You have to have the Shechina in your house. And then what you can show to the Goyim, that the Shechina is in my house and I'm showing it to you and I take it out to you. So I take out the light that I have inside and I put it outside. And so that's, you can understand. So I make a copy of what I have inside and I show you outside. But if I show outside and inside it's dark, then there is no Shechina inside. So there is no Or Lagoyim. There's nothing that shows. On the contrary, there is no Shechina inside of the house. So it's not the pshat is that the mitzvah of Ner Shabbos is more important than the mitzvah of Ner Chanukah. If there is no light in the house, Ner Labayis, meaning that there is no Ner Labayis, that there is no light inside your house, then there is no Sholem Bayis. If there's no Sholem Bayis, there's no Shechina. If there's no Shechina, what are you taking the light outside of this house? This house doesn't even have the Shechina. First, you need to have light in order to be able to afterwards set up a second light outside of the house in order to show that the light that you have inside is also for the outside. So it's not that the mitzvah of Ner Shabbos is so big, because the Rambam says even it's not even a mitzvah, it's a chiyuv. He says it's not a reshut, it's not a mitzvah, it's a chiyuv. And by Chanukah, it's a mitzvah. And so what is the pshat here? How can you learn it in the Gemara like that? But according to what we just said, it's very nice. It's the Ner Bayis that you have to copy and put it outside. And you have to show the light. But if you don't have a light inside, there's no point of having a light outside. And so it's not that it's more important, but it doesn't make sense. It becomes an absurdity of putting it outside something that you want to show that it's like it's been inside. So the idea is to show to the goyim the light that we are enjoying inside, which is the symbol of the Shechina. And so the idea of the Ner Chanukah, why Taka after the Churban, they wanted to do the Ner Chanukah, the Zecher to the Adlokas Neros of the Beis Hamikdash is, as I explained already last time, and I just wanted to repeat it here, is that it is a message, a political message, to say to stop actually trying to fight for the Beis Hamikdash, trying to fight for our freedom, but it is to accept the Golus, as we explained it, is to accept the Golus and to actually start now accepting that our Beis Hamikdash that we have a Mikdash Me'at, which are little houses, and therefore the little houses will once a year we will show to the Goyim that and to the Goyim, but also to the Yidden, to the non-religious Yidden, that the Shechina is within us and that we are emanating this light to them through this Yom Tov of Chanukah. That's why Chanukah is also kind of called the Chag HaGeula. Basically, it's also the idea is that it's at the beginning where we're showing to the people that we have already kind of a Beis Hamikdash, but it's inside of the house. So it's a kind of a democratization of the Beis Hamikdash, and therefore we also understand the mitzvah why women don't make a melucha, because women don't make a melucha because for them it is still a Yom Tov. they never lost it. They were the reason why the Shechina was in the house, as we explained to you, like Sora Imenu, all the women in each house is the reason why the Shechina comes down. And so for them, nothing changed after the Churban. In the contrary, they became even bigger. They have received the schus to be able to shine to the other people, to the Or Lagoim through their houses. And also why Taka, a person which travels abroad, it's his where his wife is where actually he has to light candles, and not in his hotel, but it has to be by the wife, because it's the reason. The real reason is it is Taka, the women, that is the reason of the lighting of the candles. So, in short, I will make a summary. So we explained that there are 9 mitzvahs that we are mekayim according to the Goinim this Chanukah, every Chanukah, 8 days of Hallel, and 1 mitzvah of Ner Chanukah. We explained that the idea of Hallel is the Dorais says Pirsum and Nisa, and we have multiple reasons. We said that the reason why we are Goimer Hallel is a bit of unclear, but we can understand it because of, like the Hashmonaim says, that Chanukah is basically a secondary Sukkot, and like in Sukkot we are Goimer Hallel 8 days, so too in Chanukah we are Goimer Hallel 8 days, since we also make the numbers of the Neiros each day differently. Then we said the Ner Chanukah. We said the Ner Chanukah generally is as Pirsum and Nisa, and that we do already in the night. But there are others who want to explain that it is a Zechel Adlukas Neiros from the Beis Hamikdash. And the idea is that, as we explained, since by Sora Imenu, I didn't say that, but by Sora Imenu, the light was a Ner Tomit, each that she only lit once, and there was a Nes, and the light went on till the next one. So there was kind of a Ner Tomit. So too, the Torah says that in Adlukas Neiros, one also needs to have a Ner Tomit. And Ner Tomit, what does it mean? So each day you had to light the candle and continuously making sure that it never one candle, the Ner Marovi, should never become off and should be continuously burning. Now, in order for us, how do we show that it is a Ner Tomit? How do we show that it is 8 days is going to be a Ner Tomit? By us, we only light for half an hour. So what do? So each day when we add a new light, we actually rekindle the first light. So now Menorah, what we do is we always add a new light, and then we light also not only the new one, we also light a light on the first day. So the first day is kind of always continuously. So every light that you lit the next day, it is again lit. So every day you have a kind of a tzmidus. So because the third day, so you light the new light plus the 2 old lights. Where the 2 old lights were, you continue lighting them. So this is called the tzmidus. That's why we paskin that we always light the new candle, and then the 2 others we also light. Why? Because the 2 others are all showing on the tzmidus, because it's Zechel le Menorah. So this, as the 2 others are actually showing us the Ner Tomit, that it was lighting the whole time, and the new one is for the Yom Tov of Chanukah. So we have to, each Yom Tov requires a light, and the 2 previous ones, that's why Rabbi Hillel hold that we go up, because the every day the 2 old ones are continuously, and then the 3 old ones are continuously are showing a temidus, a continuation, a continuum in the lighting, which represents the Ner Tomit, which represents also the nest that happened by Sora Imenu. So, and then we said that the idea, it could be that the idea of the lighting of the candles is to show us that we've started the area of the Or Lagoim through our homes, that the light that we're doing in our homes, which represents a very important light, which Chazal say it's very important to have Sholem Bayis, is to have a light, especially on Shabbos, because on Shabbos we eat in the night, and therefore if we eat in the night and there's no oinek, and if there's no oinek, there's no Sholem Bayis. So basically the whole idea of the light is to have Sholem Bayis. Why does the Torah want so much Sholem Bayis? Is because only through Sholem Bayis the Shechina can come down, and so therefore this is the whole idea. And so the concept of taking that light from inside outside is the chelek that originally was the Beis Hamikdash. The Beis Hamikdash was to be the light for the all nations, for all the nations together. This we don't have anymore. So our homes receive this upgrade, and that is why we are lighting the candles. That's why the symbol of the lighting of the candles of Hanukkah is to show that to the nations, that our homes have taken over the role of the Beis Hamikdash. And with this, we are making a symbol of saying that the Jewish nation has become the Or LaGoyim, and to give them light, so that when Mashiach will come, to bring all these lights, these elements, to bring them from the Kibbutz Geluyos, to bring them to Eretz Yisrael, and to recreate a new nation, as we explained them, which has been collected from parts from Belgian Jews, French Jews, African Jews, Asian Jews, American Jews. So all the nations will come together, and they will form one big nations. Like this, there will be harmony and peace, which is also what the Rambam says, that the lights brings shalom, and shalom also between all the nations. That's what the Rambam ends up in the Sefer Zmanim. So it is really the concept of bringing peace into the world. The whole Nesivos Shalom is also shalom for the whole world. And so this is exactly the purpose of why we Jews are existing. And this is also maybe the symbol that we are doing on Chanukah. And yeah, so, and maybe Taka, are there any questions first of all? Okay, and so just to finish off again, the Anocha Oise Mitzvah, if you remember, this is the Hoitzor. It is take out the light from inside of the street, and there's Akira and Anocha, and therefore Chazal call it as Anocha Oise Mitzvah. Should we be zoiche to the big light, to the light that will shine, the Oyer Gonus, the Oyer Amakev, should be zoiche to see that light, this Galles Hashchina, Bimheiro, B'yomeinu, Omein.
Amen, amen, shkoyach.